Today we're travelling across Hokkaido from Hakodate, which is at the end of the bullet train line, to Sapporo for the snow festival. It's a 4-hour trip. I'll show you what it's like, things we see along the way, snacks, and then at the end we're going out for ramen. What could be better when it's so cold and snowy? There's new Japan videos every Thursday if you want to subscribe. There's lots coming up, including the Sapporo Snow Festival and my favourite, the Snow Light Path Festival in Otaru. It was so magical. So now we're starting off in Hakodate. This ramen restaurant in Hakodate Station's got a vegetable ramen. It says it's animal free. I didn't expect that. This isn't on Happy Cow. We're taking the Super Hokuto Limited Express train. I got a bit mixed up and went back to the Shinkansen station, that's Shin Hakodate first. But you can actually take it all the way from Hakodate station to Sapporo. You don't need to change like we did. So here we are at Shin Hakodate station. We're trying to work out what's going on here. This snowplow truck, snow shoveler, is taking the snow from over there and bringing it round in front of the shop here, where all these people are shoveling it, but they seem to be taking it down from the top and compacting the snow at the sides. We can't work out what's going on. There's these mountains of piles of snow everywhere. I guess here it doesn't get warm enough for the snow to melt for a long time, so it must just keep piling up. One way to survive the cold weather is hot drinks from the vending machines. Pretty much all the vending machines I've seen have hot drinks as well as cold drinks. They have hot chocolate, coffee in a can, some of them have soup, like sweet corn soup. One of them over there's got tomato soup. And I've seen honey and lemon drinks actually, it sounds interesting. Here's a hot chocolate from the vending machine. It comes in a little bottle. It's pretty thin and watery. And
actually, this one wasn't bad.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's a little thin and watery, but it's thicker than you'd get from, say, McDonald's or something like that, where it is just brown water.
Ah.
It's not super thick and super delicious like you might get from a decent coffee shop, but it was really nice, just a little bit colder than you really want on a day like this. You want it to be about, boiling point, and it wasn't quite there. But I enjoyed that one. It's got a lot of sugar in though.
The one in the can was more watery, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say this one, I don't know if it was better, maybe I was just looking forward to it more, but I would definitely buy it again. And I had my first coffee in a can. I went for Boss Cafe au lait, and that was very watery consistency. It's very thin. It might be real coffee, but there's no way that could be real milk in there. It would have to be thicker if it was real milk, and it was really sugary. It tasted like it had about 20 sugars in. It is nice though, probably because of all the sugar.
The conductor's room is in car 2. This is a non-smoking train.
We're back on the train. We're on the train from Hakodate to Sapporo for the Snow Festival. This one's going to take just a little bit less than 4 hours. If you're here at Snow Festival time, you really do need to make reservations before you travel, because we just got the train from Hakodate to Shin Hakodate, which is the Shinkansen station, and it was rammed. We didn't have a reservation, and there were 2 carriages with unreserved seats, and they were so full up. I didn't think we were going to be able to get on the train to start with, but then the conductor made everyone move down and we had to stand there like wall to wall people. This train to Sapporo is really busy as well, but we've got seats reserved this time. There's a baggage area just as you get on, but it was full up of suitcases, so we've put our suitcases up there. They don't look like they're going to fall down. Phil's going to be at the ready in case we go around a sharp corner. Look how snowy it is outside. We're just going through Lake Onuma, which is quite early on in the trip. It didn't take long to get here from Hakodate. It's a winter wonderland. Out here, this is a lake. It's Onuma Park, Lake Onuma. It's all iced over and covered in snow. I wonder how thick the ice is. This train's the Super Hokuto Express. It's not quite as spacious as the Shinkansen, There isn't room to put your suitcases in front of you. This is a mini hand luggage size suitcase that only it fits this way round. It's not bad. It's not as good as the Shinkansen though. In a few years' time, they will be turning this line into a Shinkansen as well. So you'll be able to take the Shinkansen all the way from Tokyo to Sapporo eventually, and that'll be really good. I think it'll cut the journey time down a bit as well.
Please refrain from engaging in loud conversation when on board the train. We wish you a pleasant journey. Thank you.
I wonder what happened here. There's a lot of trees fallen over and blown down. This is my first visit to Hokkaido. We went through lots of unfamiliar sounding stations. Oshamambe, Toya, Datemonbetsu, Noboribetsu. It was snowy all the way along, and you can really tell that Hokkaido has the lowest population density in Japan. They just checked our tickets and they stamped it with a little picture of the train. That's the train we're on. Cute. So misty now, it's hard to see anything. When you're on a long train journey, you've got to have snacks. I've got this wakame onigiri rice ball. Phil's having a chocolate donut. Is it very chocolatey?
It would taste better microwaved.
No microwaves on the train. There's some quite big mountains here. We've just left Toya Station. I like how all the houses are painted different colours. Imagine if you lived somewhere like this, in all the snow with the mountains in the background. It's so different from home. Snack time. I've got a strawberry cream bread. It's like a bread roll, like the soft bread rolls you get in the supermarket. It's filled with sweet strawberry cream.
Stop at Minami-Chitose. Stops at stations are brief. If you are getting off, please make preparations in good time.
We're just coming into Sapporo. Look how deep the snow is in people's houses. We're almost at Sapporo. So we've done almost 4 hours on the train. This actually hasn't been too painful, although it's not as comfortable as the bullet train. When we arrived in Sapporo, we headed straight out to the snow festival. I'll show you more in a separate video. First, we went for something to eat, and as it was minus 12 degrees C, nothing seemed better than a hot bowl of ramen. We went to Suskino, always hard to say, which is Sapporo's nightlife district. Here it is in the daytime. That's where the ice sculptures are. The bigger, famous snow sculptures are in a different area. Ramen Alley is a small alleyway with lots of tiny ramen bars. We went to Sapporo Ramen Kumakichi. It's easy to find with its yellow sign. Kuma means bear. Most of their ramen's about 1,000 yen or less. They've got a few premium dishes too. Now, traditional Hokkaido ramen is made of miso, like in miso soup, butter and sweet corn. It's quite rich for the cold climate. Phil went for roast pork and I had the vegetable ramen. It's quite unusual for ramen places in Japan to have a vegetarian option. Here, the broth is made of vegetable stock and puree, so it's quite thick. And we also had a few drinks. Now, this wasn't my favourite meal, but it was good. And really, the best part of it was the experience of going to a small ramen bar. As a vegetarian, I am a bit limited in the restaurants I can go to in Japan because not everywhere has a vegetarian option. So I didn't know if I'd be able to go to a small place like this. There's only about 8 seats along the counter and the chefs cook your meal right in front of you. It's not fancy, but these small places are the places I'm most interested in going to in Japan for a more authentic experience. So I hope you enjoyed joining me on this trip across Hokkaido and starting our time in Sapporo in the best way possible. Remember to have a look at my designs on cakeswithfaces.co.uk and I'll be back next week. See you on Thursday.